I have been up to my knees in research about all this alien stuff recently, and you already know I have gathered the best of the best information circling the web for you. And boy, is it crazy. From top secret UFO footage from Russia, David Grusch's statements about UFOs at his hearing, the US literally hiding information from us about aliens, real alien bodies confirmed with photos, and much, much more. If you've been overwhelmed by all the alien information coming out recently, this is the only video you need to watch to get caught up. All you need to know is that every piece of information in this video is 100% real and has been confirmed by US officials one way or another.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
This is some of the most exciting stuff that we've heard in a very, very long time. So without further ado, I'm Sherman. Let's get into this video. So first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about UFOs, or unidentified flying objects, and UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena. Now, a lot of people have different theories about what UFOs look like, but based off of new information that we got from Russia, we now have proof of what they actually look like. Now, we don't have photos of the actual UFO. I'm gonna pop some photos up of what the Academy of Sciences in Russia say is an accurate representation of a UFO. Now, you probably noticed that I already mentioned Russia quite a bit in this video. There's a very important reason for that. Due to the US looking into all of this UAP stuff, Russia has agreed to open their very top secret filing cabinet and give us a lot of information of their own. So let's get into the topic of Russia. I want to say that since all these investigations are going on in the US, we tend to think that we're the only people who have seen UFOs. We are completely wrong about that. I personally think that Russia has seen more UFOs than we have, and actually it's proven. The only difference is Russia has never agreed to actually give us proof of this or tell us about the UAPs or UFOs that they've seen in Russia. It was never public until now. I just learned about the insane story of the UFO invasion in Primorsky Krai, which is known as the largest mass UFO sighting in the history of the world. January 29th. 1986. On Hill 611 near the village of Dalnegorsk. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That night, over 40 villagers reported seeing a reddish sphere flying over their little town. They say the object was making no noise and was a perfect sphere of rust red color. It got so close that the villagers were able to see that it had no obvious signs of propulsion, which I was confused about what that meant. It actually means like it has no form of push or pull. It has no propelling things. It has no jets or flames or any way of like knowing that it's moving left or right. It's just going wherever it wants. They say it moved up and down very slowly until it tried to escape, and it ends up crashing on a hill near the village. A man named Valery Devuzhilny, head of the Far Eastern Committee of Anomalous Phenomena. He arrives at the crash site 2 days later. He checks it out and he sees that the whole entire hill is just full of snow, but the area that the UFO crashed had no snow. It was still hot. 2 days later, it was just no snow went near it. He gets some samples of some of the what seemed to be metal, and he takes it back to the lab at the Academy of Sciences. This is in Russia, and they do experiments on this metal that this supposed UFO was made out of, and they made an insane discovery. They put this material under a microscope and they find out that it's made of microfibers 17 micrometers in width, which is like you can't even see how small that is, and each fiber was made up of even thinner pieces of fiber called plates, and intertwined in those pieces of thread was solid gold wire. Long story short, this technology was not available on Earth until 20 years later, and it didn't come from any of us. Humans literally did not have the power to replicate this kind of nanotechnology. So anyways, 8 days later, eyewitnesses report seeing more flying objects in the sky. This time they were yellow spherical objects, and they say that it looked like they were searching for something, and they went directly to where that other UAP crashed. People say that this might have been some search and rescue by the aliens, but regardless, they grew more curious to the crash, so they went and investigated it. And you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but you can look it up for yourself. They end up finding traces of non-human biological remains at the crash site, and they kept that from us for over 30 years. Now you might ask yourself, why? Why are they sharing this with us? Why is Russia now getting involved? When I heard this news, I was jumping out of my seat. but half of me was sitting very tightly in my seat because of the fact that these aliens could very well be a threat. Regardless, just think about it. People have been trying to prove that aliens are real for hundreds of years, and now it's about 99% proven to be real. How could you not be excited or terrified? Now, moving on from the Russia stuff, we have to talk about David Grusch, which is the most important man in my mind right now. He is the key to us actually seeing proof of alien life. Personally, I find it insane that last month I put David Grusch in the video talking about what he's going to do and all that stuff, and now he's finally doing it. Not too many people knew about him back then, but now everybody definitely knows David Grusch. Literally just a couple months after that guy found those aliens in his backyard in Vegas, and now this, it's almost like the US knows that they can't keep this stuff a secret anymore. It's like everything's coming out. And I feel like we're actually really close to seeing photos, which there are photos. Insane to even think about, there are photos. Let me continue. Let's talk about why David Grusch is so important. Well, for starters, David Grusch is one of the most trusted intelligence officials in the US Defense Intelligence Establishment. He is going against the US government for secretly operating in regards to UFO retrieval programs. He says that the US government has a secret UFO retrieval program and have UFOs and alien life in their possession right now. They have alien bodies in their possession. I don't think you understood what I said because you're still looking at the screen the same exact way you were 2 minutes ago. They have alien body. We have alien bodies in our possession right now, and they have reverse engineered alien technology to better the technology here on Earth. That's all real stuff. These are all proven stuff. You might think this man is just talking about his alien ass, but he's not. He actually has proof. As a matter of fact, he has shown enough proof about this alien stuff, including photos, real documents, and verbal confessions, that they opened a congressional hearing for him. Now, I've been keeping up with this, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are, because a bunch of YouTubers and live streamers are making a bunch of videos on this. Obviously, it's a very juicy subject. Now, we didn't know what kind of evidence he had until recently. He says in his opening statement, quote, "Many trusted people in these programs have shared compelling evidence in the form of photography, official documentation, and classified oral testimony." Guys, he said photography. We're talking about photos of bodies from another planet. Spacecraft from another planet that could be hundreds of thousands of light years away that we would have never ever even known existed. Like, people on another planet came here to us. If you ask me, it's equally terrifying as it is cool. I mean, can you just imagine how they look? Do they match the description of the guy from Vegas that saw the aliens in his backyard? Do the UFOs look like they do in movies? A lot of people have actually been talking about the description of UFOs and aliens, and when people come out and say they've seen an alien or a UAP or a UFO, they say, oh, it's fake. They're talking about how it looks just like what they see in movies. But you're forgetting to realize movies ask professionals, scientists, geniuses what they think aliens look like, and these people, their whole lives' work is dependent on aliens and space. So it makes sense that it looks like what we think it looks like. It's not like we just pop the picture out of our butt. Now, back to David Grusch's statement. One thing that a lot of people missed in his opening statement is that he said he's bringing this information forward is for the protection of the US citizens. Guys, what do we need protection from? I'm just saying, if you didn't think aliens were a threat back then, I definitely think they are now. Now, just to refresh your guys' memory, things are only going to get crazier. And with crazy information comes a lot of people that don't believe it. I'm going to say that David Grusch has shown evidence to these officials, and he is under oath, lying under oath about the US government can land you lifetime sentences in jail, which is what he's facing if they find out he's lying. So how did David Grusch get all this information? Well, in 2019, the task force UAP director asked David Grusch to identify all the programs that they're a part of for Congress. So all of a sudden, David is in possession of every single program in his department. His words being literally all. So David stumbles upon a secret UAP crashed retrieval and reverse engineering program. Sounds like a long sentence, but UAPs crash, UFOs crash. We have a program to go and find it, grab it, and put it in our facility. And reverse engineer, meaning find the technology, which is obviously better than what we have here on Earth, and try to replicate it, try to see how they made it and use it for our technology, which I don't think there's a problem with that. By all means, go ahead, but don't keep it from us. We have a right to protect ourselves from freaking aliens. So he does what any other curious official would do, and he looks into it. He asks for more documentation about it. He gets declined, obviously, because it's top secret, which is very, very suspicious to myself, David Grusch, and everybody watching this video. Since then, David says that he has received extreme retaliation for what he's doing, but he obviously doesn't care because he's spilling all the damn beans. Guys, this was just David's opening statement. Imagine all the other things that you're about to hear right now. So there were two people alongside David during the hearing. One of the men, named Mr. Fravor, was asked about a very specific incident called the Tic Tac UAP. Okay, apparently it was very famous UAP sighting, and they called it the Tic Tac UAP, I guess because of the way that it was moving. They asked him, did the Tic Tac UAP move in such a way that defied the laws of physics? Fravor answers, the way we understand the laws of physics, yes. Okay, now for the good part. They ask Grusch if we have possession of extraterrestrial spacecraft at any of the facilities. That light just went out, man. There's probably a UAP outside the window right now. Anyways, he says, I cannot answer that publicly. But wait. But then they ask if they have bodies of the pilots of the aircraft, and he sort of slips up. He says
Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to.
that means that A, we have alien spaceships, and B, we have alien bodies. Wake up, folks. This is real. We have actual government officials telling us that there are aliens and alien spacecraft in our possession right now. They legit asked them, are these non-human biologics? And they say, yes, these are not human. He says, I can show you more proof in a skiff, which I didn't know what that meant, but I'm guessing it's a private hearing between him and the other officials. Now, mind you, previously Grusch has stated that he has photographs of this stuff. People are saying, why isn't Grusch showing all of this stuff publicly? In my opinion, I think it's that he doesn't want the higher-ups to know exactly what he has so that they don't have time to maybe destroy the evidence or something. That's just my guess. He's being a little secretive with it because he doesn't want to show it all and then they have time to prove it to be wrong. He said he wants to just show it all at once when everything's over. Long story short, he has photos of alien life and alien spacecraft that we are going to see eventually, which is just crazy. Guys, when I say this is no joke, it's literally no joke. David was asked if he has ever been in a situation where he feared for his life after coming out with these accusations. He answered, yes, personally I have. And the look on his face when he said that, it was like he just knew his fate. Like it was all going to be over if he doesn't prove this right. Think about the threats on his life from the people that are investigating this, the people that are using alien technology to make defense weapons. Like, it's just crazy the things that could be going on right now. People automatically assume like, oh, this whole entire thing is just a way for the government to distract us from something else, but I don't think that's the case. Like, we're not freaking roly-polies. Like, if something comes up, it's gonna come up and we're gonna like focus on what's happening at the moment. We're not gonna care about the alien stuff or whatever. I don't know, it's just stupid. I don't think that that's what's happening. I think that there's an actual threat on human life from aliens, and that's why this is coming out. Now, apparently, new information has come out about airplane pilots have made claims that they've seen things in the sky, and they reported to UAP investigations. Now, when their company finds out they did this, instantly they get a cease and desist letter. If you don't know what that means, it means pretty much drop the claim or we're gonna sue the shit out of you. This has all been proven. There's documentation of this. So pilots that are scared of their safety and the safety of the people on the plane literally can't even speak up about it, or they'll get fired or sued by their company. So to answer one main question that you probably have, how many spacecrafts or extraterrestrial technology do we have? The answer is 12. 12 alien spacecrafts in possession. More and more trusted individuals are coming out with this stuff, and it's beginning to be, without a doubt, true. Guys, this whole thing is an absolute roller coaster, and I just can't believe that's actually being proven before our very eyes. Like I said previously, we are living in a universe that is so freaking big that we cannot even imagine how big it is because our brains are not capable of it. Just try to imagine the universe. Try to imagine the biggest thing you could possibly imagine, the biggest area of empty space you could imagine, and then just realize that that's not even close to how big a fraction of the universe is. Think of a living thing coming from a planet hundreds of thousands of light years away, coming to our Earth and investigating us. Think about when they're just hovering over our planet. Think about how quiet it is in their spacecraft, how they're looking at each other, how they're talking to each other, the language they speak, like if they even speak a language or however they communicate to each other. The possibilities are endless. Like, we have no idea how to even think about this stuff, but we could imagine what they look like. Like, imagine their skin. Is it like slimy? Is it dry? Is it just a freaking, we don't know. Species from another planet are here, and I find it amusing as hell. I could just lay in bed all night and think about what they do for fun, or how they are, or how they're going to destroy all of us and take Earth for themselves. With that being said, I'm sure you're all gonna sleep very peacefully tonight under the covers, nice and comfortable, thanks to me. You already know I'm gonna be keeping up with all this alien news, and when something crazier comes out, like photos, you already know that I'm gonna be here to talk about it. With that being said, it has been your boy Sherman, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.